going on, everyone? Welcome back to 55 Fandom. I've gone completely off schedule with my What If episodes because I'm back at school now and it's homework Monday to Thursday. So I got a bit of spare time right now. So I'm going to record my thoughts for episode 3, 4, and 5 simultaneously. So this intro will probably be the same for those 3 videos. So if you are watching this and you're saying, why is it the exact same audio as in episode 3? It's because of that. Alright, episode 5, we're reviewing episode 5. This is my favorite Marvel's What If episode, but I kind of knew it would be. This episode takes place in Infinity War, but the zombie apocalypse happened 2 weeks before Bruce Banner landed on Earth. So in this timeline, Civil War would have happened, but we see every Avenger together. So they must have put aside their differences to fight the zombies. So Bruce Banner gets sent down to Earth, and bearing in mind he's not a zombie, and he says the lines, Thanos is coming, but no one is there. So then Black Dwarf and Cole Obsidian and Ebony Moore show up. I was thinking of the comics, and they recite their lines. You know, you're about to die at the hands of the children of Thanos. And then this Iron Man hand comes out of the portal, and Banner's like, Tony, yeah, you guys are so screwed now. But then he eventually finds out what you see, and it's quite gory. And Tony's eating Ebony Moore and Black Dwarf. And Doctor Strange is there and Wong, and they turn to see Banner, and Banner sees that they're zombies. And Banner's like, oh my god, oh my god. And I love the designs for the zombies. I just love the faces and the animation. Oh, so good. So Banner's trying to run away from the zombies, and in the end, Wasp comes, Evangeline Lilly, and she's like, come with us. And Banner's like, oh wait, you're a human? She's like, yeah. And then who picks him up? Spider-Man picks him up. Yes! My favorite Marvel character finally appeared in this. Then we go to this hideout thing, and it's where everyone's kind of, vibing away from the zombies. And we get people like Bucky, Happy Hogan, Sharon Carter, Okoye, who else? Bruce Banner. We get the guy who plays the polka dot man in the Suicide Squad, one of Ant-Man's friends, who says that is terrible bossing, and he actually plays quite a big role in this, and I don't know if that's to get us ready for Ant-Man 3. So then we get kind of a Spider-Man Homecoming throwback where he's making a video. He's like, how to survive a zombie apocalypse, and he's making all this cool stuff, and he's just being Spider-Man. He's just being a kid with superpowers, and I love that. He's just having his own fun, and Spider-Man gets a massive role in this. Like, he's not just a cameo, like, he's one of the main players. He probably got the most lines out of everyone, or maybe because Bruce Banner gets a lot, but he's in this through to the whole thing. He survives it. So basically, instead of telling you now, I'm just going to go through the things I liked. So I loved the designs of the zombies. Falcon was a zombie, Iron Man, Cap, Hawkeye. I don't think I saw Black Widow as a zombie, which I thought we would. So we didn't see any Guardians. I would like to see the Guardians more, because this is Infinity War time. So Thor should have hit their ship. They should have come, and I would really like the Guardians to be in this. So we got no Guardian zombies, which is a shame. Could you imagine Groot as a zombie? Ooh. So basically, what they're doing is they're killing the Avengers as zombies. So Iron Man dies at, I believe, the hands of Wasp, and it's really gory. Wong dies, and his head is literally decapitated from his body, but they show it on screen, and Bucky kills Steve as a zombie. What I didn't like is I don't think the people who wrote Bucky actually got him. Like when he killed Steve, I didn't feel like he felt any remorse. He just kind of said, "Sorry, pal. I guess this is the end of the line." I don't know. Maybe it's just because they've got like a 30-minute time slot, but I was a bit mad about that. Like, why wouldn't Bucky feel any remorse? I mean, Steve is his best friend, and like from the wars, like surely just a single tear down his cheek. Happy becomes like Iron Man or something, or at least he has one of Tony's gloves. I was surprised that Happy appeared in it, and he's voiced by Jon Favreau. And Happy, even though he dies within the start of the episode, his legacy carries on, and something, you know. And then Sharon Carter, who I really don't like now because of what happened in Winter Soldier. I mean, I love the character, but because she's a villain now, it's weird to see her as a hero in this, or as a, working with the heroes. So she takes the glove when Happy becomes a zombie, the Iron Man glove, and she wears that until she is killed by Steve Rogers. And then I loved the train scene, and they're like, "Oh God, we need to power the train," and it's kind of a callback to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Peter says, "I have an idea," and he webs the train, so he's pulling it with his webs, and then he hears that Happy is down, and he goes, "Happy, no, 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 not happy, not happy, no, no." And so they get the train working and full steam ahead. So then zombies invade the train, which is where Sharon died and Bucky died. And so the Wasp comes to help, and she gets in. She does like what people should have done. So when people were saying on the internet, why didn't Ant-Man just go inside of Thanos and then press the button and go back to normal form, go back to normal height. This is what they did. So Wasp goes into the mouth of a zombie as, in her tiny form. Then she reverses back to her normal form, and she basically blows the zombies to bits. But then Bruce goes, Wasp, yeah, you're not so lucky. And there's a zombie cut on her shoulder. She hasn't turned into a zombie yet, but, she's nearing the end. And they put her on a chair, and my favorite bit in the episode comes. And there's a bit of relationship between Wasp and Spider-Man, and I really like that. We didn't get that. We didn't get any of that in the main MCU, and I really like this partnership. I thought it worked very well, and maybe there could have been a love thing there, but I doubt it. And Peter's like still smiling, and she goes, "Peter, how do you do it?" And he's like, "Well, it's pretty easy to watch Halloween movies." So he makes a joke, and she goes, "Now, how do you keep smiling?" And he goes, "Well, with everything that's happened to me." He mentions his mom and his dad. So he goes, "With my mom, with my dad." And then he goes, and he name drops, and he goes, "And with Uncle Ben." And I just started crying. I was so happy. The MCU has finally referenced Uncle Ben. Yes! And I just punched the air. I was like, "Woo! Yes!" And it was so. I still held out hope that they would mention Uncle Ben in the MCU, and I was just so happy they did. And then he said, "What with Tony?" And now with Happy, my Aunt May said, or she used to say, no matter how hard life is, keep smiling, something like that. And I just love that. Someone goes, "Guys, the train stopped." And they go, "What's the best way out?" And he goes, "Through those zombies." And Hope goes, "Look, I'm dying already, so let me buy you some time." So Hope goes into gigantic form, which we haven't seen from Hope in the main MCU. We might see that again in Ant-Man 3. So she's carrying them in her left hand while she's stomping on these zombies. Peter's looking through the hand, to see how far. So she drops them off, and she goes, "Peter." And he goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Keep smiling for me." And then she dies or something, and blah blah blah. So they go into this base, and they find Vision. And it makes sense. Vision is not a human, so he cannot be a zombie. He cannot get bit. So then they kind of find, would you believe it, Scott Lang. Vision brought him back from being a zombie, and he's just a floating head. Now, Paul Rudd in this is just being Paul Rudd. He is just funny, he's comedic, he's stupid. He even makes a Harry Potter reference. The cloak. I like that the cloak binded to Peter, because Peter and the cloak have had this weird, funny relationship throughout the MCU since Infinity War. And I love that. So the cloak's picking Scott up with the head, and Scott goes, Wingardium Leviosa, which is a Harry Potter reference. It's really funny. So then they find out that something sus is happening. Okoye finds Black Panther, who she thought was dead. He is missing a leg though, but obviously they can repair that in Wakanda because they have like super high tech, so that won't be a problem for him. So Black Panther's not dead, and I know a lot of people didn't like T'Challa Star-Lord. They wanted to see like they wanted to see Chadwick as Black Panther, and this is the episode for you. He doesn't do any fighting, but he does say a few lines in it, and he got me really crying at the end, which I'll get into. So they find out that Vision is doing something sus, and Scarlet Witch is a zombie, and he is trying to reverse the zombie thing, and he's trying to turn her back into human because he loves her. And Bruce Banner goes, look, this isn't right. This isn't what you do. So Vision feels guilt, and in the end, he pulls out the Mind Stone, because the Mind Stone is the key to get the antidote. So he pulls it out, he's dead Vision again, and he goes, I have to pay for my mistakes. And Okoye sacrifices herself, and Black Panther goes, Okoye! And she goes, my king, Wakanda forever! And then I think like Scarlet Witch eats her or something, I don't know. So that was quite emotional as well, because obviously the second Black Panther film is called Wakanda Forever. So, So who are left? Paul Rudd, floating head. Paul Rudd's floating head. I'm not even going to call him Scott Lang, right, man? Because he doesn't act like that. He's just being Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and the Hulk are left. Everyone else has been eliminated. There's 4 people left. So then they get to this ship, and there's a load of zombies again. And Bruce Banner, him and the Hulk hasn't come out throughout the episode, and he's going, I'll buy you some time. And Spider-Man goes, Dr. Banner, please, I can't lose another friend today. And he goes, well then, avenge us. That gave me chills. And I think the Avengers theme started playing. Da, 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 da. And so he's like, hey, big guy, wouldn't you want to be the hero for once? I thought he was going to do a Professor Hulk. So I was like, oh, yes, great. We didn't get this scene in Infinity War, but now we get it in What If. No, he just turns into the Hulk, and we get about 5 seconds of the Hulk. And then we leave. I want more Hulk. Give me more Hulk, like as in the big green guy. I love Bruce. I want more Bruce as well, but I want more Hulk. So then, who's left? Paul Rudd's floating head, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. Those 3 are left. So then we get a bit of Hulk versus Scarlet Witch, which was great. I thought they were going to show us the full fight, but they didn't. So then we have this heart-to-heart moment of what my main criticism, or not criticism, but my main thing that I wanted in the MCU is I wanted Spider-Man and Black Panther to interact more. Well, this is all I needed. Because Spidey's feeling remorse, and Black Panther goes, you okay? And he goes, well, I've lost a lot of people today. And then Black Panther says the lines, in my culture, death is not the end. And that means so much more now that Chadwick is not with us anymore. It was great. And then Paul Rudd comes in, hey, I'm an Avenger. And Peter goes, oh yeah, that's right, you're an Avenger. And he goes, well, I'm basically an Avenger. And they just have this really heart-to-heart moment. I don't actually know if we see Hulk die. So I don't know. So then they're flying over the bodies, and Wasp never turned back into normal size. She stayed as giant. She stayed as a giant. So then, because she's turned into a zombie now, she's back from the dead. So she grabs the Quinjet, and Paul Rudd's like, "Hope," and he's just kind of shocked. She's pulling at the plane. Black Panther's doing full throttle, and Paul Rudd goes, "That's the second time she saved me now." So then they have a chat and they go, "Well, hey, it'll be all great. We'll get to Wakanda. We'll get the antidote. We'll save everyone, and then we'll like rebuild the Avengers." And then we get a zoom in on Wakanda, and we see zombie Thanos with 5 out of the 6 stones. Because don't forget, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Paul Rudd have the 6th stone. And it ends. I want to see where this goes. I want a part 2. Please, Marvel. Please, please, please. If you do season 2, which I think they're doing, please, just give me a zombies episode a second zombies episode. This episode was so good. I liked Spider-Man's costume in this as well. It was red and blue. Big spider. I like a good old big spider. I would have liked to see a bit more fight scenes as well. You know, I would have liked to seen a kind of similar Avengers Assemble moment with Avengers 1, like a parallel. Like them all standing in a circle. You know, Bucky could replace Captain America in the circle. Spider-Man could replace Iron Man in the circle. Bruce Banner could be in the circle as well. Yeah, so this was a great episode, and hopefully I have my stuff in order for episode 6, 7, 8, and 9. What do you guys think? This has taken me a long time to film. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 3 and 4 review. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, but until next time, my friends, bye-bye.